everyone. Today is my second video and first one in English, so I really hope on your support. I'm gonna tell you about my trip from Russia to Australia. I was planning it for 6 months. Because of current Australian restrictions, I could not come back to Australia. And today I want to share my experience with you that you could learn from. We finally go to Australia today, and I'm actually very sad because I'm leaving my relatives, my parents, my friends, but this video not about it. This video is about me telling about my experience, how I flew from Russia to Australia during quarantine, how much time it took to me, what I came through. So let's go. My journey will start from Rostov-on-Don, which is in south of Russia, and then I go via Moscow to Dubai, where I will have about 20 hours transit. I will actually need to pick up my bags, and I booked a hotel, so I may go for a walk, rest a bit, and then go to my next journey. From Rostov, I'm traveling via company Airflot. I don't really big fan of it, but this was the only one option, so I had to use it. Before flight, I needed to undertake a COVID test, which would be valid 72 hours before my departure. I also needed to register on DXB COVID-19 app, and unfortunately I had troubles with it. I read a lot of reviews about it. It's not just for me like this. I could not verify my phone number, therefore I cannot open the app. So I don't know what's gonna be with it, but we'll see in Dubai and I'll tell you about that. Hello everybody. I'm actually in Dubai right now. It's very warm here, and unfortunately I have to speak with you wearing my mask, but you know, it is what it is. It's a new reality. Ready for a walk to the Dubai Mall. I was walking in Dubai Mall, had such nice pizza in Italy. I'm really a big fan of this franchise. I've been in this place in New York and in Rome. It's actually very nice. So now I'm walking back to my hotel to pick up my bags and go to check-in. Here we are again, and now I'm at the Singapore flight, flying to Singapore, and from where I will go to Australia. I'm expecting 7 hours flight and 1 meal. We'll see how it goes. The check-in came alright with some difficulties, which I will tell you later. So they put a bracelet on you when you get out from the plane. We're now going to the lounge, which is in Singapore. Pretty empty, I would say. I'm in the lounge right now, and to be honest, I'm not very happy with it because this is not what I expected. On the website I found that the Singapore lounge is available for business class passengers, but unfortunately you can't use it because you're in transit. So they put you in premium waiting area, but also didn't make me happy. They don't have any food here, so they put a scanner that you can order food from other terminals to which you have to pay for, but this is not what you're expecting when you pay for the business class, because you honestly want to be served So I went to ask what the stories and what's happening, and they said that this is because of these transit COVID restrictions. And then they said you can order food, but they said that there is no menu. So they found menu which was hidden eventually, and there are not so many options, to be honest. So I'm quite upset with this. So if you're planning to go via Singapore, you should honestly book a hotel if your transit gonna be long. You also can take some beverages, coffee, tea. This is it. Just a little bit what you can have in business lounge when you transit via Singapore. For example, this is mac and cheese. So you can have Coke. Hello everyone, this is me again, and I'm right now already 15 hours at the Singapore airport, and it's actually very boring. I'm going crazy, but good that I have just 2 hours left until I fly again. I'm expecting 8 hours flight, and it's gonna be tough, but you know, I don't have any other choice. During this layover, I had a lot of noodles, which, you know, I usually don't eat, but this is new reality. This is what we have. From the advantages of this lounge, you can have unlimited beverages, coffee, tea, and beer. Finally got my boarding pass, landing card, going to board. Such an interesting fact that it's pretty empty. On the plane, going to Australia right now. The plane actually the same as was to Singapore, so I don't think there is a reason to show it. I will tell you what will be on the arrival. I was trying to come back since November, and only in mid-February I was managed to have a flight which hasn't been cancelled. All flights I booked through my tourist agent. Unfortunately, I didn't want to use tourist websites, because if your flight is cancelled or you need a refund or reschedule, you can't do it, and it's very difficult to contact either tourist agency, either airline, so you actually can lose your money. Unfortunately, my first flight was cancelled in 2 weeks after I boarded, and it was Malaysian Air. I still don't know the reason why they cancelled it. After this, I found another option via Sri Lanka Air, and I found out that Sri Lanka Air only have a schedule for the next 2 weeks, so they don't know which days they're gonna fly. How I found that it was Wednesday and Friday on my time, but they sell flights on every day. So if you're lucky to get a flight the same day as they will put the schedule, then you will get here. If not, then you will just lose your money, or you can try and get a refund. Unfortunately, but in my situation, I needed to get to Colombo first, and then from there have a flight to Melbourne. But unfortunately, the flight to Colombo, which was via Emirates, was cancelled. And I didn't expect this, to be honest, because Emirates is not the company which usually cancels their flights. But in current time, everyone just trying to use COVID as an excuse. I want you to be aware that even global companies who has a good reputation also can cancel their flights, but yes, they will give you a refund sooner. But if you have transfers via different locations and one of your flights were cancelled, it will be very difficult to find another option. That's why I want you to be aware about all of the conditions. What I also would advise is to buy flights with a full refund, not with voucher, because companies like Malaysia Airlines or Sri Lankan Air, they usually don't provide you refund. They prefer to give you voucher. But let's be honest, flying to Australia, I would never fly via Sri Lanka or Malaysia, because this is not reasonable. Usually it's very long layovers, and it's easier to go by Emirates. In the end, I managed to find a flight with Singapore Air from Dubai to Singapore and from Singapore to Brisbane. Unfortunately, I couldn't even find flight to Melbourne or to Adelaide. I have to buy business class because all economy class was bought. I organized my flight to Dubai, where I had a transfer for about 17 hours, so I booked a hotel. Let's make a conclusion. Before departure, you will need to take a COVID test 72 hours, and be aware if you have transfer where you need to recheck your bags, for the next check-in, your test still should be valid. Also, you need to check that this clinic where you have done your test would be approved by the airline. You don't need an app to enter Dubai, because when you're landing, you go to the customs, and there they will test you, they will fill all forms, and they will not ask any other app other than your passport. On the plane to Australia was about 70 people. I think it was 35 in business class and 35 in economy. If you can't find economy seat, it's already probably booked. You can risk and delay your departure and to choose another date, but if you rush, you should take business class flight. If you are traveling to Australia via Singapore and you have long layover, be aware that the lounges are not available for people who is in transit. You only can wait in the special area which doesn't have anything. You better book a hotel where you will be able to have a rest. On arrival to Australia, you will need to fill up the forms about quarantine, and that you're aware that you will be tested, that you have to pay for the quarantine. And then after this, welcome to Australia and welcome to 14 days quarantine. Depending on which state you arrive into, it will be different hotel. I'm staying in Regis Hotel, which is in South Bank, Brisbane. It's actually very nice, but I will tell you about it in my next video, which will be about 14 days in quarantine. If you'd like to watch it, please follow me and see you next video.